a gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. Thank you. It's true. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't know, because we have protection, and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's got to stop. And it's got to stop fast.
What did I say? I'm not gloating, but what did I say? Did I not say that we would win it? We rocked them, Bama's. We rocked them. Nigga, you see me coming on that plane?
You a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can
one.
I ask you a question about?
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these
I told you. CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his
Sure. Yes, I'm sure, bitch. I got the head of the CIA right here. He'll tell you.
job. Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Mr. President, I have.
If that means you need to shut up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person. I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating, and we were talking to.
It was $35,000. Right?
$35,000 cash money.
No, I give $35,000 plus one, right?
The one I gave.
No, you gave me six, though, right? That was one. I had one. It was six, and $35,000 plus one plus six leaves seven. $35,000 and seven, right? Motherfucker, can you buy that?
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Damn, I know I shouldn't have called on this nigga. I shouldn't have called on you because you always trying to distract motherfucker. Fine, I'll answer your stupid-ass question.
I plan to ask President Bukele to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported. The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador.
Well, let
Stop worrying about that. I got that under control.
me ask Pam. Would you answer that question?
Sure, President. First and foremost, he was illegally in our country.
Means you need to shut up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the
So will you return him, President
And
Bukele?
you are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Can you just also respond to that question? Because, it's asked by CNN, and they always ask it with a slant. Because they're totally slanted because they don't know what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them.
We won a case 9-0, and people like CNN are portraying it as a loss, as usual, because they want foreign terrorists in the country who kidnap women and children.
No, shut the
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over, and that's why nobody watches you anymore?
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
Get the fuck out!
Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where this video finds you, welcome to Tix. All right. Woo! All right, so in all honesty, I wanted to redo the Black Fatigue video because I was tired. I was tired as hell. And it was a spur of the moment thing that I did with Lewis. But because there were videos I wanted to show y'all, but it doesn't matter. Thing about it is, bottom line is that you've got the so-called pro-blacks who love to get their panties in a bunch over anything that anybody does. I'll tell you right now, it ain't just they're saying that, oh, white supremacists is black fatigue. No, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do not agree or applaud or protect or defend degenerate black people behavior, especially black female behavior. We do not defend that. The whole manosphere for the past 5 years has documented that crap. Nobody celebrates that crap. So it ain't white supremacists that have black fatigue. Everybody, especially black people, have black fatigue. At any rate, let's move on. So let's get to this, because this is one of those situations that I've been speaking about for the past 4 or 5 years, especially the past 3 years, especially, where I was saying that they're going to initiate welfare reform. This is the start of it. This is one of the starts of it. One of the starts. Once they adopt the Tennessee law as far as DNA testing, mandatory DNA testing at birth, once they do that, once they start honoring a so-called father's request in court for a DNA test to make sure that he's paying child support for a child that is his, like there will be no more like what happened to that brother in Detroit. There will be no more, well, you're depriving that child of a father. How? I'm just a check. A check is not a father. You didn't grant me custody. You're just stealing my money. So how does that make me a father? At any rate, there'll be no more of that garbage. There'll be no more of that. If it finds out that he's not the father and the woman told him that he was the father or lied, either way, she didn't tell him the truth that there's a possibility or something like that, that's paternity fraud. You're going to jail. That is a prison sentence waiting to happen. They're not playing around. Wait till that becomes national law. You think it won't? You think it won't? Go ahead. Keep messing around. You're going to find out real quick. This administration is not playing games with you. They're really, I'm telling you right now, Trump is trying to destroy poverty by hook or crook. By hook or crook. You've got thousands of jobs. Thousands of businesses bringing hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of jobs into this country. That's what the whole tariff situation is all about, if you really look at the plan. But you got to get rid of the illegals so that way Americans can have jobs. If you want to come back as an illegal and become a legal citizen and work and not commit any crimes or whatnot and actually partake in the American dream as which it was sold to you, then fine. But first you need to self-deport. We need to get Americans in these workforces first, not you. Hence the destruction of their social security numbers. Hence ICE. What's going on, Ghetto Naut? Hence ICE doing what they're doing. It's a whole spider web of things, but trust me, all of this is for the average American, working class American. They're the ones who suffer the most. People that make under 150, 200K, they suffer the most. Oh, what's up? That's your other page? Oh, okay. and sunken when going incognito. Yeah, trust me. All of this is for the betterment of American citizens, especially the poor. Especially the poor. You better find out who your baby daddy is. You better start getting him on child support. And if you can't get him on child support, you better start sending him applications so you can get him on child support. Hopefully they'll revamp the child support laws so these women can stop living off of income that was meant for the child. As you know, he's already like in January, either January or early February. He already did the child income earned tax credit or whatnot, where if you pay child support, you can file taxes on the child. But if you're not receiving child support for your custodial child, you can file taxes and include the child. As I've been saying, every time I bring this up, it's a whole math situation. Well, do I need the $300 a month? But then I won't be able to get a new car at tax season that I'm gonna destroy before September because I'm too stupid to change the oil. What's up, Carlton? I mean, it's a lot of whole math and that's gonna be going on. I mean, I'm making fun of it, but I'm being honest. Y'all know I'm being honest. I'm being honest. It's time for people to get back to work. And as I was saying, because I've been watching other people talk about this today. Shall I not spoil it? Let's just get to the story. Let's read the story. Well, just wait. You'll see. They're gonna do a lot of changes. Welfare is going to wind up being for people who are elderly, who are poor and elderly, or disabled, be it mentally or physically. But let's get to this. All right. Amid the wave of deregulation, legal aid groups are worried about cuts to federal rental assistance and fair housing enforcement, especially for immigrant tenants. To hell with them. To hell with them. Go home. Go home. Trump gave you free ticket. Go home. And $1,000 when you get there. Go home. Don't care about them. Go home. During the first 100 days, and this comes to us from Bloomberg. This is the most unbiased article I could find. During the first 100 days of the Trump administration, a flurry of executive orders, policy reversals, and proposed funding cuts have threatened to dramatically curtail housing assistance and renter protections in cities across the U.S. At the Department of Housing and Urban Development, field offices are slated to close and staff may be cut in half. HUD has vowed to withhold funds from sanctuary cities that don't cooperate with President Donald Trump's efforts to deport undocumented residents and to stop enforcing the Equal Access Rule, which protects tenants regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Trump has also revoked HUD's affirmatively furthering. Okay, I'm like, what the hell? Okay, Trump has also revoked HUD's affirmatively furthering fair housing standard, a target of his first term that mandates communities receiving federal aid proactively address barriers to fair housing. More dramatic changes have been proposed. The White House's 2026 budget would slash HUD rental aid overall by more than 40% and turn the Section 8 housing voucher program, which provides rental assistance to low-income households, into a state-run program funded with block grants. While Congress is unlikely to fully approve the budget request, it does provide a glimpse into the administration's policy priorities. This is what I want y'all to understand. This is what's in that big, beautiful bill. What do you say? Is it true that mandatory paternity test is on the books now? Not yet. Not yet. Not nationwide. But believe you me, it's coming. It's coming. But this right here, this is what's in that big, beautiful bill. All right, so for local tenant advocates and legal aid groups, it's a head-snapping shift from the policies of the Biden administration, which in 2023 proposed the National Renters Bill of Rights, and last year suggested a rental stabilization ordinance. Housing advocacy organizations are predicting difficult times ahead for renters in need, with fewer resources to prevent evictions and more landlords who may be willing and able to bend the rules. Yeah, but see, here's the thing: if you talk to anybody that has rented a HUD house or a Section 8 house or whatnot, I mean, it's just like having a squatter. It's near impossible to evict them. Meanwhile, you're forced to continue to not only pay the mortgage on that place, but also the utilities. Ain't that something? They force you, instead of, like, I shouldn't have to pay utilities for somebody that's staying in my place illegally, that I have to use a court order to get them out. That's crazy. I should be able to cut the utilities off in my name. There should be no utilities in my name in the house that I'm renting. So why do I have to pay the bills there? That's ridiculous. And then, of course, you have people, when they stay, they tear the place up. And then when they leave, they cause so much damage that the property is irredeemable. It's irreparable. You have to scrap it. Short sell it to the bank. Just cut your losses and be done. And these people get to walk away scot-free. But all of this, before I finish reading the story, what's up, Blood Boiling? But the thing about it is that all of this is in the big, beautiful bill. If he can get that big, beautiful bill passed before the midterms, he's going to, the bill is going to pass because of the tax cuts. The biggest thing that they're going to talk about, and they're already talking about it now, is the tax cuts for the poor. The 250K and below that won't have to pay federal income taxes anymore. That's going to be the selling point in the media to the public about pushing this bill. We already know that the Democrats are not going to approve it because, I mean, these guys wouldn't stand for rape and murder victims. I mean, you see how they're defending MS-13. They wouldn't stand for a black boy that had 13 brain surgeries trying to defeat cancer. They wouldn't stand for a woman that was permanently brain damaged by a male playing in female sports. So, you know, good goddamn well, they're not going to try and pass this tax cut bill, this big, beautiful bill. They're not going to do it. So you need to get rid of them. You need to beat them in the midterms. But the beauty of this, I'm sidebarring here. The beauty of this is that you have so many Democratic congressmen who are, well, so far you've got 3 that were stupid enough, actually 4, stupid lately in the past 3 days, were stupid enough to put their hands on ICE agents. So they've gotten arrested. And I want you to understand that Pam Bondi, no matter what you think about her, understand she's answering to Trump. Trump is not going to play games with the Democrats. Watch he enhance the charges and these people wind up getting locked up right around the time that it's time for them to vote for the bill. And it doesn't matter if you're not there for the vote or not. You better be there for the vote. You better be there for the vote. So if you got 3, let's say you got 3 Republicans who might be wavering this way within those 4 Democrats that was acting the fool, shoot to the slammer. You in jail on both days. The Trump card always wins. The House always wins. I'm just saying that's how I would play it. That's how I would play it. But I would definitely try to get it done before the primaries because you don't know how it's going to shape out. But with the way that things are going, I know I'm gonna get back on subject in a second. But the way things are going, the insane behavior that's going on in the Democratic Party, not just like with, you know, the stupid low IQ people who are out there protesting and don't even know what they're protesting about. You know, they just out there just causing the ruckus. Where's my protest sign? Oh, okay. They out there with their protest sign. Trump. You know, they just out there protesting for the sake of protesting for like $20 an hour or something. No, not them. They're not the ones you have to worry about. It's the ones that are in Congress. The way that they're behaving, they keep literally breaking the law. They're literally breaking the law. You've got AOC sitting up here trying to tell illegals how to avoid ICE, which is making it so much easier for them. You got Ilhan Omar sitting up here talking like a seditionist. You know, I mean, it's just... When it comes to getting a bill passed, especially one that Trump feels that this definitely needs to get through, I guarantee you he's going to start locking up Democrats in Congress, only because of their own behavior. Watch. Even if he has to go back to the money that they were stealing from USAID and other government programs, those slush funds and NGOs, because it's not like they don't have the receipts. I mean, Elon Musk did a whole audit. They know exactly who stole what and where's that, which bank account and all of this stuff, what shell company you use. This is the federal freaking government. You really think that they go dementia field grandmama trying to figure out what's going on with her checking account and can't, so she asks you and you lie about what you did with her debit card? No, the federal government. Watch that be the Trump card. Anyway, let's get back to this. All right, so tenants are no longer at the center of housing policy, said Noel Porter, Director of Government Affairs at the National Housing Law Project, NHLP. I've never quite seen anything rebound in this way. The real estate industry and private equity corporations see an opportunity to have Trump write rules in their favor, and they are going after it hard. So there's a push for deregulation. For landlords and property owners, the Trump era offers a welcome regulatory reset. On March 3rd, both the National Apartment Association and the National Multifamily Housing Council, two large industry groups, sent a letter to President Trump and administration officials asking for regulatory relief for the $3.9 trillion apartment industry. The letter listed a number of requests to alter the costly regulatory framework standing in the way of affordability, including rolling back energy efficiency standards, dropping protections against tenant screening, and withdrawing the Federal Housing Finance Agency's tenant protections. In other words, they're going to make you pay for your damages, and they can screen you now to see, they can call your previous landlord and see if you were a crap tenant or not, whether you were evicted or not. Off of, because your Section 8 housing, your last one was in foreclosure because $8 a month was too much for you. And for those of y'all who remember last year in my Embrace Villainy channel, when I was doing all of those eviction videos last year, I remember Heavy Grant, he was doing them. I need to subscribe to that brother. I just remembered he existed. I used to love him. I used to love that brother's channel. Yeah, Heavy Grant, myself, Messy Michonne, and a few other people. We're doing the eviction videos. The majority of the eviction videos were people whose Section 8 housing was in foreclosure. Section 8 housing in foreclosure. $8, $12, $20 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever. And there was always crap everywhere, a piece of bedroom furniture in the living room, fast food, empty fast food bags and containers all throughout the house or the apartment, pissy mattresses. All right. It was just infested with roaches, flies stuck. I mean, one person, they had flies stuck to the stove and the grease. These people do not care. They can now recoup their losses. They want to recoup their losses. If they bring in a Section 8 tenant and they cause that type of damage, they want to be able to recoup their losses. Some items on this wish list have already been met. According to an NAA spokesperson, The Department of Energy postponed mandated appliances energy efficiency standards. FHFA rescinded a directive imposing 3 new federally mandated landlord-tenant requirements on covered multifamily housing financed through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And HUD terminated the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule. So remember, okay, Stacey Abrams tried to, they tried to send her that 20 billion or 2 billion or whatever they was trying to steal money and send it to her. And she was talking about buying some stoves and refrigerators. That's what they were talking about as far as the mandated appliances energy efficiency standards. So you had to update your refrigerators and stoves, your appliances, and dishwashers to make sure that they fit government regulations, because a lot of it was unregulated at the time. Well, they want to get rid of that, which is smart. We are grateful for the Trump administration's attention to these regulatory challenges, said Nicole Urbano, the NAA's Associate Vice President of Housing Policy. Without their swift action, federal overregulation of the rental housing industry would continue to impact the cost and availability of affordable housing for millions of Americans. Housing affordability emerged as a national political issue in recent years, thanks in part to rent increases, up nearly a third nationally since February 2020, and a wave of new tenant protections that arrived with COVID-19 as public health authorities emphasized the importance of preventing evictions. The pandemic both highlighted the precarity of the nation's rental housing system and empowered tenants to get active. In Los Angeles, renters' rights propelled progressive candidates into the city council. Rent control laws scored wins in Boston and Minneapolis, and right to counsel laws that guarantee tenants representation in court spread from New York City to Seattle. For activists like Kansas City's Tara Ruggiero, who helped found the Tenant Union Federation in 2024, the fact that economic issues like housing unaffordability also helped propel Trump back into the White House doesn't mean that scrapping tenant protections will bring these costs down. This is pure opportunism, she said. These protections are not the thing making rent so damn high. Yeah, it was your former president. But what's up, Milk? But here's the beauty of it. See, here in Atlanta and nationwide, once that whole that COVID mandate where they, you didn't have to pay your rent, once that was up, those apartment complexes and houses and whatnot, people that was on Section 8, they was like, yo, where's our money? Where's our money? If you don't have our money, you got to go. You got to go. And we all know who was the number one in evictions at that time, back in 2022, 23, and now 24. It was the Black female with her children in tow. All right. Last we checked, last year it was at 6.9%. Whereas the next most evicted was white women at 6.9. They were at 9.6. White women were at 6.3, and then came Hispanics at 1.8. You say Keisha, plural Keishas. Yeah, so Black females and their children were the most evicted. Even though they were supposedly the least ones on it, because of a per capita, or because there are more white people in America than Black. So apparently there are more, there are more white women on Section 8 and welfare than there are Black, but they didn't lead the nation in evictions. They didn't lead their nations in evictions, because if they're going to have a Billy Bob laying up in the trailer park, Billy Bob is expected to pay the rent. Oh yeah, and the most educated. You're most educated with a degree in Bulgarian ballroom dancing. I owe $100 million in student loans. I got a degree in whistling, Swedish whistling, a 4-year degree, $100,000 loan. I mean, Jesus Christ. The degrees these chicks were getting. I mean, colleges need to be they need to go ahead. Man, just kill them people's loans. Make them, matter of fact, just kill the interest. Just make them pay the loan, but kill the interest, because I mean, and have those colleges kill those freaking classes. Are you crazy? Yeah, I mean, colleges were inventing classes for low IQ people to get a degree just so they could say, I'm educated. I'm part of the most educated. Yeah, we saw the most educated voted for the biggest idiot in government, which was Kamala. Yeah, we saw exactly what y'all did. Ain't that right, Sonny Hostin? Most educated morons. Just because you educated doesn't mean you're intelligent. But set that aside. What happened was, after the rent moratorium was over and those people started wanting to collect their rent, the people didn't have it, so evictions were up. Out here in Atlanta, just driving around. I mean, I'm out here in Decatur, and I'm going up and down the street, whatnot, and you see all of these apartment complexes. No, at the time they said, yo, come January 1st, no more Section 8. Everybody got to be gone. And it was November. I'm rolling around in November, just going to the store. I'm like, oh, damn, they're kicking them out of that complex. They were doing that all throughout the city and all across America. People were done with Section 8. One guy, he does a real estate show. Damn, I know I lost so many contacts when I lost that other channel. Yeah, he was talking about it. He was like, like, I used to own property. I was doing Section 8. The government does not reimburse you when they do the damages. The tenants are nasty. They destroy it. They infest it. They won't let you come in and do inspections. All right. So he was like, a lot of people who own houses, like his friends, like, how once you get into a business, suddenly you start making friends with other people in the business. He was like they wash their hands with Section 8. Like, people be coming to them with vouchers. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. People be coming to them with vouchers, trying to get the house, and they be like, we'll call you. And toss their vouchers and toss their application in the trash. Denver was trying to get people to circumvent it by not, trying to cover it. It do be nasty. Yeah, like they was trying to get people to circumvent it by not letting the homeowner know that you had a voucher. And I'm like, they gonna find out regardless. You got to put down what your income is. How you trying to rent a $2,000 a month apartment or house, and your income is what? Eating Cheetos and watching The View all day? What? Oh, that was so stupid of them. But yeah, so people, they was having a hard time trying to find a place to live, and a lot of them, of course, like here in Atlanta, a lot of these people, they did the whole interview of them. It was a bunch of old women, apartment complex down the street. I wouldn't walk it, but it's down the street. They was out there, the old black women with their liquor and everything, trying to hide it from TV cameras and everything by putting it behind their little chairs. I mean, you can see the cups. They wasn't slick, but they was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go. And it's like, you got kids. You say, no, watching Maury Povich all day. You are not the father. Oh. Anyway, you got kids, but this is the thing. This is the problem. Man, I really wish I would have had saved them videos. The thing is that growing up, like, you alienated your kids against you so much that they want nothing to do with you. That's why you living in Section 8 in the Section 8 apartment. They want absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with you. You lucky if you got a call this past Sunday, or a card, or some flowers, or something in the mail. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky. A lot of y'all didn't get that. A lot of y'all are dying by yourselves in nursing homes. being found dead in your apartment with the cats eating your face. It's a sad state of affairs when you piss off your own children to the point where they want nothing to do with you. So now you pretty much got a room up with another old biddy or some old dude, you know, on dialysis or something that can't even walk and had his foot cut off, and you trying to just trying to survive. I mean, but you know, you can't blame anybody but yourself. You can't blame white folks for your condition. White folks did not affect your brain. You affected your brain. You're in charge of your mental. You are in charge of your life. There's no white person that wakes you up early in the morning with a cup of coffee. I'm going to say, come on, Jackie. Time for me to perform some racisms today. That'll hold you back. Let's go. Come on. Got the shower already ready to go. It's you. You are your own problem. You are your own anchor. But I digress. Let's get back to this. While most tenants' rights, rules, and regulations exist at the state and local level, the federal policy changes will likely trickle down, especially in conservative states where the ability of cities to impose housing protections is limited by preemption. Those forces are feeling emboldened, not just by the rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration, but the actual regulations, said Liz Ryan Murray, a director of strategic campaigns at Public Advocates, a public interest law firm. In Iowa, for example, the state Supreme Court overruled a 30-day eviction notice provision from the COVID-era CARES Act, the first state-level court to do so. Let's see, jurists in Colorado, Ohio, Connecticut, Washington, Indiana, and Virginia found the opposite. Landlords are now just mandated to provide a 3-day notice. Wow. Woo! You got a 3-day quit. You got a 3-day quit. You ain't got $20? Get out of here. You gone. I mean, damn. the guy across the street been eyeing you for months. You better go make that rent money for the next 2 months, or at least make rent money and buy you something to drink to wash the taste away in the memory. But you better get my $20. What is you doing? In Texas, I know I ain't worth a spit. In Texas, the state legislature is currently amending and debating passage of HB 32, known as the eviction bill, which, as originally submitted, would curtail renter protections around being informed of an eviction and let some evictions take place without trials. Some aspects of the law have since been softened, but attorney Mark Melton, founder of the Dallas Eviction Advocacy Center, still calls it extremely harsh. This was a direct reaction to all the COVID-era things, he said. The real estate industry's position on this is, we want complete and total power to evict whoever we want, whenever we want, and you should trust us with that power. Yeah, because, again, you have these people who haven't paid their rent, and then they get with these NGOs, non-government organizations, that sit up here and dick you around in court for months, if not years, on evicting somebody, going back and forth, asking for extensions and all of that stuff. No. Meanwhile, you forced to pay the mortgage. You losing money. No. Get the hell out now. You don't have a right to stay here rent-free. I'm not fighting this out in court with you. Immigrant renters are facing unique pressures. Roughly 25,000 families with mixed immigration status live in federal housing. And in April, the Washington Post reported that the Department of Homeland Security and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency were working to identify these families, evict them from public housing, and potentially deport them. Yes, these families include roughly 55,000 children, many of whom are U.S. citizens. Well, the parents have a choice. The child can either stay with the American citizen parent, or they can go with them. That's the choice. Or the whole family can go. It's up to y'all. But you, the illegal, you got to go. You got to go. And do understand that illegals, because so many of them flooded the country, you wonder why the rent increase went up. You have to have the supply versus the demand. If the supply isn't catching up with the demand, then you gotta cut costs. You gotta cut costs. Remember, a VCR used to cost $1,000. Now you get one at the thrift store, they'll pay you $20 to take it up out of there. Be nice if they can clean up. Yeah. the inverse of Golden Girls. Say, damn, Trump, I'm disabled and on Section 8. He will put me and others on the streets, heartless man. No, actually, Pink Ocean Flower, he won't. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. People who are elderly or handicapped, physically or mentally handicapped or disabled, they get to keep their Section 8. And they're going to be able to keep their welfare and all the other provisions that the government provides for low-income people. So you'll be all right. All right. Tenants can find themselves harassed by landlords who threaten deportation, said NHLP attorney Marie-Claire Tran-Luang. I hope I said that right. Who directs the group's evictions initiative project. Such anxieties predate the current administration. In 2023, an Urban Institute study found that roughly 23.6% of adults in mixed status families avoided seeking non-cash government assistance due to fears of immigration enforcement. Oh, so you're skirting the law. What you have right now is a lot of fear that any sort of engagement with the legal process is risky, said John Pollock, coordinator of the National Coalition for Civil Rights Council. Rights are rights, and it's a real problem when people feel like they can't exercise them. Yeah, but you're an illegal. You have the right to get the hell out. You have the right to go back home. You have the right to come back through the port of entry. Those are your rights. President Trump's budget proposal, released on May 2nd, asked for cutting HUD's budget by more than 43% and replacing the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher program in favor of a block grant program run by states with a 2-year limit on receiving benefits. Do you hear that? With a 2-year limit on receiving benefits. Now we're getting to the steak and potatoes. In a statement, HUD Secretary Scott Turner spoke in support of this kind of flexibility in the new budget and policy proposal. President Trump's bold budget proposals, reimagining of how the federal government addresses affordable housing and community development, he said, it rightfully provides states and localities greater flexibility while thoughtfully consolidating, streamlining, and simplifying existing programs to serve the American people at the highest standard. Public advocates Murray is less enthusiastic about the notion of replacing federal rental assistance with local alternatives. That concept grew out of a HUD demonstration program called Moving to Work, he said, which was launched in 1996. Data on these trials was damning, with jurisdictions that participated in the program serving significantly fewer families. Well, that's the whole point. Cool, that's a good thing. What do you say? Okay, so what if you're disabled and live with your 4 adult children who work part-time while attending college? How does this affect us? If you're disabled and your name is on the paperwork, you're fine. You're fine. As long as you're the main person on the paperwork, you're fine. As long as you're not breaking the law, you're fine. That's the whole point. But do understand what this does. If you are an able-bodied person and you sign up and you're on Section 8, you got 2 years to get off, or you're just automatically cut off after 2 years. In 2 years, you should be able to find you a job, especially with all the jobs that are coming into the country right now as we speak. You should be able to find you a job, save you up some money, all right, and be able to pay regular rent. What job are you, and especially with rent and mortgages prices, they're slowly dropping now. What job are you working where you can't afford, let's say rent drops down and stabilizes at, let's say, like $1,400 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment? What job are you working where you can't afford $1,400 a month? It's bad enough that you have people who are working jobs they can't even afford $2,000 a month. Okay. Take away the requirements that you need, all that first, last, middle, all that security, all that crap. Take away all that. You have people who can't afford $2,000 a month without all of that. And these are able-bodied people. That's crazy. But now with what's going on because of the tariffs the gold card, the Trump gold card, and corporations now flooding, coming back, factories coming back to America, office jobs, all this stuff coming back, there's really no excuse. By the time this kicks off, which will be within, because it's pretty much as soon as it passes, it starts now. So you're looking at 2027. You've got until, I'm talking about those of you who are able-bodied, you've got until 2027 to get your stuff together. If you can't find a decent paying job or 2 jobs that make up a decent paying job within the next 2 years, that's a you problem. If you're an able-bodied adult, clearly that's a you problem. Don't blame Trump, blame yourself. Blame yourself. But living off of the government, that's over with. If you're not disabled or elderly, you can forget it. You're not dealing with it anymore. I said this months ago. I was like, Trump is all about holding your own nuts. He did away with you being special because of your race or your sex, okay, or your religion. Nobody's special no more. He's talking about Israel. He's talking about, and Israel is like, yeah, we need to financially decouple from the United States. Like, well, yeah, you've destroyed all of Gaza. There's nothing left. There's nothing left for the Palestinians to live on. You're talking about turning it into a resort. You're going to make these people like Indians working at a casino. So what is the point? But yeah, no more you special because you black. You special because you want to wear a woman's dress and try to sleep with little kids. No more of that specialness. No more because you're a female. All of that is gone and over with. You're watching it happen in real time. The specialness is over. It is now, the society is now becoming a meritocracy, and you're now being judged by the content of your character, which you said you always wanted. Hence, the new catchphrase of black fatigue. You're being judged by the content of your character. And if you think that people don't like your character, then too bad. All right. During the Biden era, the White House made efforts to coordinate resources and program assistance for tenants across multiple agencies, according to Sarah Gallagher, Vice President of State and Local Innovation at the National Low Income Housing Coalition. Now she sees the housing rights landscape reverting to a patchwork of state and local regulations that can be stacked against renters. In February, Republicans in the House and Senate introduced a bill, the Respect State Housing Laws Act, that would, among other things, eliminate the federal 30-day notice for evictions. It means you're screwed. It means pay your damn rent. What is this? Hold on. Yes. No. Yes. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. It's my homie. All right. With the U.S. economy roiled by tariffs and federal layoffs, Gallagher is particularly concerned about an increase in overall housing instability, just as stretched state and local budgets force local leaders to choose between funding social and safety net programs. We're just in a really hard time right now, where there are threats from so many angles and levels, she said. All right, so that's the article. But you know what? Here, let's have a little fun, shall we? Yeah. Hold on. Shut up. Hold on. Let's go. Let me show y'all something here. Let's look at an eviction process from our boy. Let's see. Nathan Perro. Let's see here. Oh, this is 2 days ago. Okay. All right. Let's go with 2 days ago. Good Lord. He's still doing what he's doing. Oh, yeah. Let me subscribe to my boy. All right.
The process server. I'm about to make arm entry. I need you to come to the door.
He can kick in that door if he had to. Like they no longer live there. They're now
the court about to make arm entry.
They are now trespassing. If he got the key though, he can use the key.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
What's going on?
What's going on?
I got an eviction here.
Yeah, she good.
Look, already.
Okay. How many people in here?
Girl, what's going on? They come there like about me. They're not damn eviction people. That's how they go.
Look at that. Look, wait, hold on.
How many people in here?
Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. So
how many people?
You got one hole in the wall right here.
People in here.
See that? Hole in the wall right here. Looks like a fist punch.
Girl, what's going on? They come there like about me. They're not damn eviction.
Oh no, that's not it. Here it is. And see this? This is a hole punch. It looked like somebody's fist went through the wall. Not to mention the blanket all on the door. What is this?
Oh my goodness, man.
You might as well start taking that stuff in the front.
All right, what I got to do, man, I got to start taking my pictures when I come in. I'm going to take all my pictures. Y'all use that time to get all your personal stuff, your money, your jewelry, your keys, your
I
iPhone.
ain't already moved everything out. I just got some bags.
Okay. All right, sounds great then.
The other stuff I ain't want.
Okay.
Oh, that's two holes in the wall. Wow. She couldn't make rent off that tail she's swinging. No. Look at that. Blinds all toe up. You can see that right there. Blinds all toe up. That come from peeking. What's going on? Living room looking a complete mess. Like they sleep in it. Yeah, this is a hole. I thought this was designed like this. That's a hole in the wall. So you got 1, 2, 3 holes in the wall from looks like fist punches. Kitchen nasty. I can't live like this. I cannot live like this. Any of y'all been to my house? Y'all know I'm spick and span. Especially my kitchen bathroom. Hell no, not where I eat and not where I poop. That has to be clean.
Jar, you so low there.
Sheets up, there's curtains. Empty clothes rack. What is the point of having the clothes rack if the clothes on the floor? Let me stop. At least they did try to clean it up. Why you got this over the door? What is the point of having that over the door? Can y'all tell me what's the point of having a blanket over the door? I don't understand. Oh wait, there's a hole in the. Hold up. Is that a hole in the wall down at the bottom? Yes. There's a hole in the wall down here at the bottom. Oh my. Ooh, hurry up and get the fuck.
Hey, y'all might need to get him out the shower. See, like he take one of them extended showers. See, he take one of them relaxing showers.
Dude got the mask.
Start up here in the front.
Yeah, I don't blame him. These places be infested. They be stinking. Having dead rats in them. Yeah, I don't blame them. Not saying that this place is too bad. I mean, we've seen worse, but
start up here.
Still, you never know what you're walking into. Yep, time to bag it up, make your profit. Let's go. He got his pictures. Let's go.
Lost man. See, somebody here got some 9mm. But you know, in this business, you see it all the time. It is what it is.
I'm wondering who's gonna freak out. Normally, somebody when they home like this, more than 2 people, somebody freaks the hell out. Let's see who freaks the hell out. He got the police with him. Normally, he don't have the police with him when he do these evictions, because I mean, he's armed himself. I guess he's an armed officer of the court. So normally he doesn't have the police with him, but I guess today is the day.
You dressed back here yet?
All right, cool. Let him take his pictures. Y'all can get the hell up out of here.
Well, I don't take pictures of people. I'm going to take the picture of how it looks now, and then we'll get everything out. Take a picture of it empty.
Get that stuff I had hiking up. Where my baby sheet? I ain't got shit with this one.
I remember one of the evictions. The last one I did, it was of a couple. It was a guy, his baby mama, whatever, and they had a child.
Boss man, we got an eviction going on. Just letting you know.
He had come to find out their rent was $850 a month. And they were 3 months behind, but they had 3 cars in the driveway. And this dude was sitting up here crying about not being able to afford the rent and getting evicted. But they got they had a big old Christmas tree. They had big screen TVs. You know, house just laid out, $850 a month, and couldn't afford the rent. With 3 cars, like, dude, you could have Ubered, you could have DoorDashed. You could have done anything. You could have made your rent in less than a week just by Ubering. You could have made your rent in less than a week. You'd have really dedicated yourself to it. But you know what it is. Oh, I can't get no job. It's the white man's fault. They won't hire me because I got a criminal record. Like, well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Nobody put a gun in your hand or whatnot to make you go out here and do something stupid. You chose to do it, and you had to pay the consequences. Trust me, we've all been there. We've all done stupid stuff we look back on and wish we hadn't done. But sometimes we do things that destroy our lives. But you have to be able to adapt. If you know this avenue is shut off, look for another. If you can't figure out what you're doing, find somebody that was in your position that's now doing better for themselves. Pick their brain. Have them help you get on. But probably the worst thing I've encountered working at the job, people ask me if I can help them get on. So I recommend them to work the job. And then they doing the interview with the job and they trying to dictate the job to the HR person. Well, I can only work these hours and I can only do this much. And, you know, I can't do all that. Can I just work and do this? No. So I had to stop recommending people for jobs. I know y'all have been there. Blah, blah, blah.
That's me.
How you call me?
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
That dude still ain't came out the bathroom yet?
Jahira, get your Christmas box.
For this video to be this long, somebody got to help.
Where my car is? Where our car is?
I wonder if he has to self-deport. Let me stop.
Jahira, put that TV in one of them cars. Okay. Okay, yeah. Nah, them shoes. Oh, Terry, I'm gonna shut my booty. I do. I'm trying to.
All right, let's speed this up.
Man, it's the form, man. It's the form. I tried to call up.
Yeah. Oh, there's swimming pool. Let's see here. Hold on.
Because you put some prop in there. Yeah, it's replica.
I thought he didn't got the ring from. Hey, I thought she turned out like you made me come from before. I thought him bring support.
All right, looking at it, yeah. Looking ahead, this looks like one of the perfect little quiet little evictions. I'm surprised he put it up here. Normally they turn out like this.
Us today at a Detroit tiny home as bailiffs tried to evict a woman who refused to leave. The saga between Tara Brown and Cass Community Social Services has been playing out for months, and today the situation finally came to a head. Victor Williams was there as things turned violent. Victor.
Yeah, Kimberly, talk about an intense situation. You had dozens of protesters that were refusing to let this woman be evicted, but at the same time, you had court officers refusing to let her stay.
We're going in. You're in the way.
Things turned chaotic between protesters and court officers during an eviction on Detroit's west side, with a few dozen officers from DPD watching on.
The bailiffs, actually, they've been roughing up people who've been defending Tara's house.
Get the hell out the way.
Tara Brown is the one being put out of her tiny home through a court-ordered eviction. She claims it's all because she spoke out against her landlord, Reverend Fowler, with Cass Community Social Services, better known as CCSS.
This is what a home defense looks like, and this is what landlords can expect when they go to retaliate against tenants and throw them out.
This is a lie.
She told people that she was giving us tiny houses.
Protesters from multiple organizations, including Detroit Eviction Defense, have taken it on themselves to make sure Tara stays in her home. And although all of her belongings were taken out, some protesters are refusing to accept that even now.
We need to keep people in their homes right now. There is no housing available for people in Detroit.
Feeling confident about fighting back, and we're not done. We're just getting started.
Now, in response, Reverend Fowler sent us the following statement, which reads, CCSS tried to exercise extreme care to avoid the emotional event that took place at the tiny homes this morning. We never condone violence and planned with the courts, law enforcement, and additional parties to make sure people, Ms. Brown, the protesters, the bailiffs, police, neighbors, staff, and onlookers would not be injured or arrested. Conversely, Ms. Brown and the outside group have been announcing for weeks that she would not vacate the home and that they plan to use any means necessary to avoid the court-ordered eviction. And that's exactly what we're seeing playing out with many of these protesters right back here in front of the home.
Pay your rent. Pay your rent. Pay your rent. Nobody gets to live for free. Not even children. You expect your children or child to clean up behind themselves, keep their room clean, stay up with good grades, do their chores around the house. That's their rent. When they get a job, cough it up. $200 a month, $100 check, cough it up. Light, gas, food costs money. Light, gas, food costs money. Cable costs money. Don't like it? You can move out. I'm not breaking you. I'm only taking $200 a month. Move out. Get up with one of your little friends, your little girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever. If you over the age of, I would say, really, you should probably. Most people, they left at 18. Personally, I would at least give you to 21. Unless you're going to college, then that's a whole different thing. But I would at least give you the 21, But I give you a taste of real home life, like Bill Cosby did with Theo when they went up there talking about with the Monopoly money. Yeah, I give you a taste of real life, so you know what it's like out there in the streets. But that's what's going on. Trump is. You've now got 2 years, or at least the way that he wants it. You've got 2 years to get off of Section 8. If you are an able-bodied adult, they don't care if you have children or not. You need to get up with your baby daddy and work things out. All right. Do understand that the biggest thing that has destroyed black society, where you have black men and women at each other's throats, is because of government interference. Because of government interference, and also, politics. Black people paying attention to the Democratic Party, letting the white Democratic female, you let that chick in your head, you let her in your home. You let her in your bed. You let her all up in your business. She's the one that's got you out here living off of the government's teeth, thinking that you don't need a man, to the point where you're nothing but a prostitute. You're a prostitute in 2025, an unchecked, uncouth prostitute. You are the reason. You are literally the very reason why the phrase black fatigue exists. Because you cannot control yourself. You're twerking in Lululemon. You're arguing with customers while at work. You're out here causing all sorts of public disturbances. Yeah, white women are no better. And guess what those white women are that are normally acting crazy like that? Democrats. The majority of them are Democrats. The majority of the Karens you run into are Democrats. The majority of the white folks that call the police on you are Democrats. They play like they're your friend when it's election time, or they need for you to be cannon fodder for their causes. You know, like trying to protect illegal immigrants, rapists, child raping, murdering, drug dealing, illegal immigrants. You got your black is out there at the detention facility in New Jersey getting arrested for protesting. The arrests of those type of people, you are a coon of the biggest order. You and them black chicks that was out there threatening law enforcement officials. Oh my God. You know, at some point they got to start deploying mace and billy clubs on these people, so they need to start sending a message that if you call yourself trying to interfere with ICE operations, you will pay a physical penalty. I don't give a damn what your status is. You're abetting a criminal. You're trying to help them escape. I should crack you in your head with my billy club, crack you and mace you the fuck out of here, kick you right in your face, move. But you know, we got this kinder, gentler police force going on right now. I wonder how long that's going to last. But at any rate, yeah. The black woman, the black female has been listening to the liberal white female for over 100-something years, ever since slavery, because it was Democrats that enslaved black people and had them on those plantations. Those plantations were owned by Democrats. Remember, it was the Republicans of what wound up becoming the Republicans. That fought the Civil War to free your black ass from slavery. You've been raised by Democrats, dumb Democrats, psychotic Democrats. You've never been able to separate yourself from them. Never. Now they got you in a trick bag. You took the welfare. Your grandmama took the welfare. Now here you are 70 years later. The trick bag is over. They about to kick you off the welfare. They about to kick you off the Section 8. They about to make you hold your own ovaries out here in these American streets. The free ride is over. No more free lunch. It's for students only. Yeah, get out here with your broke ass and sit up here and say now on social media how much you don't need a man and how you can do bad by yourself and all this stuff. Good luck with all of that. And the messed up part is that you've destroyed your relationships with black men to the point where they don't want. I mean, sure, you got a lot of bleeding heart simps out here. You got a lot of Travis Hunter types that, you know, she light skinned, so she's gorgeous. You know, I eat your taco meat for breakfast. You know, you got a lot of those out here, but at the same time, you have a lot of those men aren't. A lot of those males aren't stable because of the economy. But now with it flipping, when the economy, now that it's now starting to stabilize, probably by this time next year, you're really going to see a hell of a difference. You're going to see a lot of men working real jobs. And they're not going to pay you a lick of attention because they remember all that you said on social media. They will never forget that. No, you ain't need me. No, I was broke. Mike Jones. Back then didn't want me. Now I'm hot all on me. No. Send you out the door with a wet ass and a sore mouth. That's what's going to be going on. That's what's going to be going on. A lot. These dudes want nothing to do with you. They're going to want nothing to do with you. They might take up with a Maria. They might take up with a Ling Ling. Some of the low economics or the desperate, the low IQs, they'll take up with a white. But as far as brothers living off of they baby mamas or some chick playing stepdaddy, playing PlayStation all day, sitting on her couch, driving her car, laying up on her Section 8 couch, them days is over, bruh. You got 2 years, then them days are done. Those days are done. Those days are done. If you ain't I'm serious. If you are one of them sad sacks and you ain't bringing up nothing financial to the table, she ain't gonna want nothing to do with you. I mean, sure, she can pay the bills right now. It's a Section 8 apartment. It's $8 a month. Yeah, she'll order the takeout and all that stuff. Wait until she got to pay that full rent. You're gonna be on you best to do something. You best do something. Can't go back to your mama's house. She got to pay her full rent too. She's still able-bodied. Your mama in her 40s. In her 50s, because she had you at 15. You have to pay rent here, sonny boy. I know I'm getting on the downtrodden. But I mean, this is who this is really going to affect. It's going to affect the downtrodden. You already got your life together. You ain't got to worry about it. The only thing you have to worry about is whoever's in your family that you know of that's on Section 8, that's of able body, that will lose it because they're going to be calling you. They're going to be looking, hey, man, what's up? Let me get that guest room right quick. Let me get that basement for, a couple days just so I get on my feet. Hell no. Don't y'all know having poor people move in your house is like having a roach infestation? You'll never be able to get rid of them. You'll never be able to get rid of them. Heaven help you if a piece of mail show up with their name on it, you're screwed. Whatever. All right, y'all. I got to get up early. But that's what's going on. Trump cutting Section 8. Cutting Section 8. It's sink or swim time, baby. Sink or swim time. Isn't it great?
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. 1, 2.